is it going? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know how the music sounds, all that stuff. If there's anything I need to adjust, let me know. We'll get going on what we're doing tonight. So I have some stuff that I want to clean up about the image here. Some details that I need to finalize, stuff like that. So that's mostly what this is going to be about. It's just kind of running through all this stuff. Give you an idea of how I like sort through and figure out what to do to finalize an image. Hi guys, Fruit says hello. Piggy Pink, hi. Wild Nugget, hello, how's it going? Varstra, hey, how you doing? So what I did earlier, I've been working on this a bit today. But what I did earlier is I went in and I started circling areas that I'm just not happy with or that need to get refined, finished, all that stuff. And I'm just going to go through all these spots that I need to hit and refine this up so that way we can get it done. Okay. So I circled this area because there's like there's a difference in values there that I don't like. Looks like this was... So I extended the canvas a while ago, but looks like I didn't catch this little edge here. So I gotta go back in there and adjust that. Kirashri, I'm at work for another hour. Oh no. I hope you enjoy your job, right? But it's not like something you dread doing. But I hope your hour passes by pretty quick. I know even if you really super love your job, sometimes it can feel very... Sometimes you just want to go home, you know? Okay. Housekeeper at a local hospital. Houdini assignments. You're studying Houdini? What is a Houdini assignment? I gotta tell you, I I don't miss having like assignments due for class. I have there's a lot of times I have like anxiety dreams about having an assignment due for class, like a paper or something, and I haven't done the work until like the night before, and like it's due in the morning for a presentation or something like that. Those are some dreams. Piggy Pink, I'm going to visual arts / digital media for college, so it's pretty cool to see this. Oh, cool. So you haven't started it yet, or like you're currently going? You're currently in college for that. It's okay. I think I took care of that little area. This is like my checklist. Like these circles and stuff. That's like my checklist of stuff I have to get through. So as I go through, I like to check it off and resolve stuff. I had the Spino circled. I'm kind of debating whether I like this face or this face. This face is more like accurate to like the Spino skull. This face is the original face that I did. This one. So you can see there's proportion differences. There's something about the original face, though, that I kind of like. I don't know. Maybe I just got used to seeing it, and I'm, like, attached to it now. We got teeth to do, though. We have teeth to render properly. Because they're very flat. So I gotta get in there and I gotta add the shadows and all that cool stuff. Oh no, next year I start. How do you feel about it? You nervous? Excited? Are you going away to college, or is it nearby to your hometown sort of thing? Ah, Houdini. The program Houdini. Okay, I see. So I know Houdini for people use it for grooming, like fur and feather simulation, I believe. That's how I know Houdini. I've never used it before. Not myself. Nice. Cool. Cool stuff. -1. Thanks for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Looks so good. Thanks. I hope I can get it to look much better by the end of the stream. I'm being very well. There's definitely some stuff that needed to be adjusted, but it's time. It's kind of time to get very nitpicky, right? And like be not like overly critical, but like just do a nice once over of everything and make sure it's nice and presentable and stuff like that. What was I was gonna say something. Piggy. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I was actually very nervous for my first day of college because I was actually very far from home. Well, yeah, like it was a 4-hour drive away, you know. So I had to live in the dorms there, and it's just a whole new place, whole new people. Learning, I had to drive in the city. Didn't really drive in the city before then. Learning all the street names and all that stuff. So it's kind of overwhelming a little bit. Took a while to get used to. But yeah, if you have any, I don't know if you have any questions or anything like that about what it's like to go to art school, but I'd be happy to share my experience if it can help you at all. This concept is for show and the tech demo stream. I'm not sure what you're referring to, -1. Are you talking just about the splash art in general, or what concept? I think this is so this would be in the tech demo. If you're talking about how this relates to the tech demo, this would be I'm assuming title screen stuff, So if you're on a menu screen or something, maybe the very beginning title screen, maybe this would be there, or maybe a loading screen or something. I think that's what this is going to be used for. And some other stuff, general marketing stuff. So I think if that's what you mean. Yeah, sure, no problem, Piggy. Oh yeah, that makes sense. -1. Yeah, that's exactly what it's for. And I think there's a lot that can probably change, right, between me finishing this and the tech demo release. We can always come back and change stuff here, or we can make a new splash screen, or it should be pretty flexible the way I set it up, so we can come back and update stuff. For example, maybe we decide that we don't like the color scheme and we want to go for a different color scheme for the Spino. We can come back and we can adjust the color scheme and stuff like that. So it can be consistent with the game. What is this? What's on this layer? Oh, those are the back teeth there. I'm going to add some shadow here. Piggy. I've been working on getting human faces and proportions correctly, because if you get the slightest thing wrong, then it's a whole different face. I think it can help in other aspects of art too. Definitely. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a character artist, then learning the human form is a big deal. That was actually a big focus in my schooling. lots of anatomy, figure drawing, just like study the human figure a lot. And that's actually what I do most of, if you believe it or not, is I paint people like all the time, which is probably why I do paleo art in my off time. But yeah, there was a lot of figure drawing when I went to college. So it is definitely worthwhile. I still find likenesses very hard. Like I can draw made up people, fine. But like if I have to draw or paint like a real person, I find that very hard. Like an actor, I've had to draw several actors in their characters, on screen. And it was really hard because the actors, when you're doing certain types of like products, right? The actors have to like approve their likenesses. So that way they're feeling like they're being represented properly. So I would have to paint these actors and then they would have to approve my painting basically. And that got pretty hard. Sometimes a little frustrating. Portraiture is like not necessarily my favorite thing. I don't think I'm good at it. I struggle with it a lot. Toast, thank you. Laura Castle. Thanks a lot. The thing I remember most from all that figure drawing stuff is, I'm very interested in anatomy, just like the muscles and stuff. So I like studying anatomy. We did, in one of my figure drawing courses, we did an écorché. Basically, we got these, I guess they were like resin or plastic, like skeletons, and we each got one, and we were using oil-based clay to apply the muscles. So we did all the layers of the muscles from the ground up, and that really helped me a lot. And it was very interesting because it combined sculpture and drawing for me. So I really liked that. And then the second thing I remember most is we actually went to a cadaver lab. And memorable in multiple ways. Memorable because it's a very strange thing to do. I think a unique thing that a lot of people don't normally get to do. And we did learn a ton, but it was also kind of rough for some people. So I remember that. I remember people being very apprehensive about it. I was apprehensive too, but fortunately I didn't like get sick or anything like that. It was definitely like, you never forget that. There's certain things you don't forget. Oh my gosh, there's my DoorDash. Why the heck did I do that? What was most weird about the cadaver lab is it was like in a very strange spot. Like it wasn't where you would think, like you would think that it would be in like it maybe at a university someplace, like at a hospital, on a hospital campus, or like you know, someplace associated with medicine and like that sort of study. But it was actually like in some, I don't know, it wasn't even like kind of like a strip mall area. And like this, we had to go like behind these buildings, and there was like a big like gate that had to open up, and we had to be let in there. It was kind of strange. Not where you would expect. Oh, this was kind of adjacent to it too. It was like, it was something I wish we had done more. It was, we got a chance every so often to go to the zoo and do life drawing from animals. There was a whole course dedicated to drawing animals, but unfortunately, I always like missed it somehow. And I never got to actually take the course. But we did get to go once or twice to the museum and to the zoo for like comparative anatomy reasons, you know. That was really cool. I mean, I would end up going to the zoo and to the museum a lot just on my own anyway, or with friends, just to go sketch. That was probably some of my favorite stuff to do, study. Okay. I'm going to take these characters off because they're... I just want to see the Spino. Make sure we're taking care of the Spino really well. Okay, more teeth. Keen on really random, but would you know if the dev team would want a graphic designer for anything? Genuinely curious, wouldn't mind pinching my skills. You know, I am not sure. You might just try. Maybe there's like a application or something in the Discord or somewhere that you can find. I don't know. But I don't know. You would, it doesn't hurt to try, you know? So give it a shot, I would say. Yeah, you would definitely be talking to Islander for that at some point. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so getting those teeth rendered out better. I feel better about that. There were some like remnants of the old head there that I wanted to get rid of, so I feel better about that too. What else do I need to get done here? Some of the line art in this neck is still showing. Gerd Laszlo, may I ask what program you are using right now? And what is your job called? And maybe you want to do this. I will lurk and watch you. Really nice. Keep up the good work. Thank you. The program I'm using is Photoshop. I've got like, it's not like standard Photoshop, I guess. I have a few plugins in here that aren't like part of the regular Photoshop. So I have this plugin here. It's called Coolerus, which is my color palette. And I have this Chameleon adaptive palette here. That's not part of regular Photoshop, and I have the brush box installed. There's a couple other ones that I like, but they're not showing on the screen right now. But it's Photoshop. It's just their subscription thing, which I don't know if I would necessarily recommend, but if you want to try it, I'd say go for it. And what am I doing? Like, what's my job called? I am a concept artist. Well, I guess that's a difficult question because I'm kind of a lot of things. I would say I'm like, sorry, I always have a hard time answering that. I would say I am a generalist, like a 3D generalist with like concept art and illustration added in there. When you're working in a small team like this, you kind of have to wear multiple hats. So I would say that I'm a 2D, 3D generalist. It's not the nicest title, you know. Would be nice to have something simpler, like just say I'm a concept artist or I'm a digital, I'm a modeler or something, but those don't accurately describe what I do either. Why is it doing that? I accidentally painted off the lines. The Espire? Do you think the game will support GeForce now? I'm not sure. I don't know what the game's like tech specs are, so I don't know. You would have to ask someone else about that. No problem, Jer Laszlo. Okay. I'm just getting some highlights. I'm getting a little caught up in the Spino face, to be honest, but it's a focal point, so I want to make sure it has enough to look at, right? Did I save? Yeah, I did. Okay. I was thinking if I saved the selection for my arm here, that way I can easily select it and add a highlight to this area, because I think it's getting lost and I don't want it to get lost. I want to pop that against the background. so we can actually see the claws. Just add more light to this arm. So you can see it a little bit clearer. Once these splashes get added in, it kind of helps, but I think it looks better with the light hitting it more. Just kind of going through and checking all of my adjustments so far, making sure I like them. If I like them, I'll merge them down. -1. It's like you're telling a story with the drawing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try. That's the illustrator in me, really, I think. Trying to have a reason, at least, for why something looks the way it does. I try to think it through, but sometimes it's not as consistent. But I do my best. I think the best illustrations are those that have some story, even if you're not aware of what the story is necessarily. I think actually trying to tell a story or making up a story for yourself helps a lot. I do it like automatically just because partially that's the way I think and partially it's the way I was trained. But I think it helps. It gives a reason to an illustration. Otherwise, it just feels kind of like soulless. And I don't want my stuff to feel feel soulless. I think you can kind of tell sometimes, at least. Sometimes something can just be cool for cool sake, you know, but I think you make your work, I think you make it very hard on yourself if that's the goal. Because it has to be that much more like impressive. Like, I think if something has a story behind it, it's a little bit more, it's a little easier to keep interest. Hey, Repti, how's it going? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks, -1. Yeah, I like that aspect of it too. I like my favorite types of storytelling are, at least in games, is environmental storytelling. I like when, and I like when things are left kind of open-ended. They're not like definitive. Like some of my favorite games that do that are like Shadow of the Colossus. Lots of the Demon Soul, like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne is a really good one that does that. It's like you can kind of piece together what the lore is because, like from reading and stuff, but they don't tell you directly. And you can kind of also piece together the lore by what's around, you know? I like that a lot. And they don't tell you specifically like what it is. You have multiple interpretations of why something is the way it is. I think the stories you make up, you know, for yourself, like when you're rationalizing it, like why is this statue here? Like why is it broken this way? What's this ancient building for? Like you can come up with way more better reasons in your head, you know? It's kind of the same idea of like in a monster movie, it's better to kind of hide a lot of the monster in shadow and let the viewer like kind of fill it in, because they come up with stuff way more scary than you could probably ever imagine. And it just enhances the experience, you know? I find that they're kind of similar ideas. I don't know, maybe we're doing some of that in... I haven't looked at a lot of the environmental design stuff in Echoes yet. But maybe we're doing similar stuff with our environments. I'm not sure. I saw some ruins. I think in the last devlog, or one of the devlogs, I saw some ruins being worked on, which looked pretty cool. When you add ruins to something, it automatically starts your brain going, because you're thinking about, you know, there was obviously some sort of civilization. What happened to them? Where'd they go? Why did that event happen? Stuff like that. Repti, how many pixels do you use for this type of illustration? How big is this canvas? This is like 6K? 6K across. 300 DPI. You want it to be pretty big in case it gets printed. Like I've had things printed like gigantic. Like there was one of the E3s like a while ago. They the company I work for, they printed a giant illustration of this dark elf that I made. For it was an Elder Scrolls thing. But it was huge. So you never know when they're going to do stuff like that. So you try to make it pretty big. -1, am I going to play the game? Oh yeah, of course. I definitely want to play. I might even play on stream. I don't know, maybe not this stream, but maybe on my own channel. I don't know. Depends on what Islander wants to do. I haven't talked to him about it, but it'd be fun to maybe play and like talk about like how the assets are actually looking, and some thoughts on the game, and just kind of experience it with you guys too. It'd be fun to play with you guys. Roam around. I haven't really had a chance to play a game that I helped with, you know? So it's going to be a fun experience. So it'd be cool to share it with you guys. Oh, cool, -1. Yeah, that would be great. That sounds like a lot of fun. What is going on here? Based off what I've heard, there will be a lot of competition in the rivers. Yeah, I guess so. There's a lot of aquatic, or several aquatic species that we got going. Heard about a Ceratosaur? Really? Which one? I don't know if I should work too much on the details down there because it's just going to get covered in splashes. Daisy. Yeah, I need to like save out the list someplace because I always forget what's on there. I keep saying that too. I always forget. If I'm thinking right, I'm trying to rack my brain. Let me see if I can find it. I see it here. The roster chart. I need to save this right now. Let's see. Do I see a Ceratosaur in here? I do. What is that? Yeah, I don't know. Somebody's probably already said it in chat and I'm not looking. I see the silhouette of it, but -1 my YouTube channel. It should just be Raul Ramos art, like everything else I have. If you want a link, it should be. Can I post links? I think this is it. That's my YouTube channel. I don't have a lot on there, sorry. Is that what you're asking for? Rumble, Tropio is Saturday. We're going to work on Tropio Saturday. That is because we're done with Peru. And then once after that, I think I'm going to double up on Tropio streams. So we'll do Tropio Saturday, Wednesdays. We'll just get through Tropio and move on to the next one after that. Yeah, sorry, sorry, Rumble. Yeah, but definitely Saturday. So if you want to join, you want to pop in stream Saturday, I'll be working on Tropio stuff. I'll start the concept on Saturday, probably. Concept sketches. Why is this doing that? Oh, it has color dynamics on. Caledon, yes, I did work on Beasts of the Mesozoic. I still work for Cyberzoic, Beasts of the Mesozoic. Illustrations, sculpting, all that stuff. -1, you're heading out. See ya. If you are. Thanks, Rumble. I'm going to do a little bit of a cheaty thing. Duplicate this, flip it, move it over here. And then we'll use that for the tail. Tail splashes. Caledon, I'm also making paleo art. Not too good at it. Oh, don't say that. We all have to learn. We have to get started somewhere. So just keep at it. Learn as much as you can. Practice. Don't get hung up on mistakes or anything like that. Just keep on moving. In fact, I would say probably just make mistakes and just make them fast and learn from them, and then that's how you improve. So I think you got it. See you, Laszlo. Okay. I'm wondering about this light too. I don't know if I like it. If it just like blows out the detail in the background. The detail in the background is already kind of close in value to everything. wonder if I just make it stronger, like more contrasty. Let's see. God rays can be pretty cool. It's just they can also be very distracting. So it's hard to say either way, I think. I'll think about it. Now, how are these guys looking? Let's see. Oh, where's little John? I haven't seen them in a bit. I don't know. I actually haven't seen Little John in a while either. I'm sure maybe he's trying to recruit more people to the crab cult somewhere. I'm sure he'll come back eventually, right? Okay, I get to cross off a lot of stuff here. So we took a look at the teeth and all that stuff. I think that looks okay. These blue areas I think are going to be okay. So I can erase those. Okay. These waves need some detail. That. Skeleton. I made an Acrocanthosaurus the other day. Nice. Did you get a reply? Did you post it maybe on Instagram or something? Okay. I'm going to do some more work on these splashes here. Facebook, okay. Yeah, just keep putting your work out there and getting feedback and stuff. So hyped for double Tropio streams. Yeah, we should be able to make some good progress on Tropio. My goal is to do it much more quickly than we did for the Peru. So I'm also not going to restrict myself to just working it on stream. I'm gonna be working on it off stream as well. So there might be some like bigger jumps in like stages between streams, but I think ultimately we'll get the Tropio done much faster. There's some unique challenges to Tropio that I'm kind of thinking about now. One of them is the pterosaurs have fuzz, right? They have the pycnofibers. So we got to figure out how we want to handle those. So that's going to be a challenge. And then this is like later on down the line, but the growth cycles, the growth series for the pterosaur. I'm not as familiar with growth in pterosaurs. That is something that I'm not super well studied in, I will say. I do have a couple of resources regarding that, but I'll have to definitely like brush up because it's just something I haven't really had to do very much of. I need to find a texture really quick. Just like a grunge texture of something so I can add some grit to this boat because I don't want it to feel super like brand new. I think it feels like it's made out of like just one consistent piece of something. I want it to feel like it has some grit to it. I'm going to add a texture on here. Kivarsh, finally home, submitted my assignment. Good. You get to relax now, or do you have to like move on to the next one and keep it moving, you know? I hope you get a chance to take a breather. Malachi Williams, will this be available on console? I don't know. I'm not the one you'd want to ask about that. You might ask in... I know a lot of people who ask that, so you might see if there's an answer already in Discord or something. There probably is. If not, you can try to catch one of Furious's live streams, and he'll probably answer that for you much better than I can. White Cloud Gaming, super excited to try the game out. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you. Islanders streaming this week? Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Thanks. I think I need to thicken this up a lot. I'm looking at a reference of a boat, and this feels very thin. Malaki? Is that Malaki or Malachi? Malaki. Thank you. What's the palette that I'm using? This one or this one? The one on the left or the one up in the corner? This one is a plugin. It's called Chameleon Adaptive Palette, and basically it just helps with like color variation. So like you can pick and adjust colors based on whatever, however it's programmed to do that. It just helps me add color variation. I don't know exactly how it's doing what it's doing. But it has different regions. Like this controls the brightness, hue shift. So if you wanted to get subtle shifts without changing too much of the value, you can do that. It's nice for certain styles. If you're talking about this one, this is a old color palette that I made for myself a long time ago when I was really studying a lot of color theory. And that one I don't use too often anymore. But when I was like really learning how to apply color theory, it was a lot of help to me. Color theory is hard. And I feel like, well, I don't know what other curriculums are like in other schools, but I don't feel like my art school it didn't teach us about color theory very well. So I had to kind of teach myself. The hardest part about color theory for me was learning how to mix, because keep in mind, like, I had to learn color theory in terms of digital painting, and I had to learn color theory in traditional painting too. So the hardest part was actually traditional painting, because you can't just pick your color. You have to mix the color to get what you want. So like, if we were landscape painting, for example, like if you had like a gray rock and you needed to mix it, but you only had your, like the primary colors, it's a challenge to mix that gray, because you really have to know color theory well to know how to mix the proper neutral colors to get it to look right. And that was what I was struggling with a lot. But this helped me a lot, because it lets you learn how to mix neutral colors. These are all neutrals in here. These are often the colors that pop up when you're I think I just messed up my palette. These are often the colors that pop up when you're doing like landscapes and all that stuff. You have to learn how to mix those really well. It took forever. It took me forever to learn that. But I'm really glad I did, because it helped me a lot in my digital painting. What's crazy is like, I don't know if you might have seen stuff like this on like YouTube Shorts or like Instagram or something, but there's sometimes I'll catch like these videos of people who are, there was this guy who I think he's in Asia someplace, I'm not sure, but they just like random people bring up like chips of paint to him. Like they might be like, I think it's automobile colors or something, but they'll bring up chips of paint to him, and he just knows how to match it exactly, and it just like random colors too. He's like a machine, like the way he analyzes the color and then just mix it up right away in like seconds. It's amazing. That's very, very hard to do. Then I think I need to add like some fishing nets, I think, on the side, just to like drive home that these guys are fishermen, or they were fishermen, and they were out on a trip, while they got caught up in this, or maybe they were antagonizing the Spino. Who knows? But I gotta add that here. I'm not quite sure. It's gonna look just like a mess of strings mostly, I think. Let's see how it goes. I want a little bit of it hanging off the side of the boat. Gonna be, I'm just trying to get the impression of it. I'm not gonna try to like literally draw every little strand. Get the vertical ones first and then do the like crisscrossy ones. Miguel Castillo. Hey, how's it going? Gerp. Still waiting on the tech demo. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited too. Everyone's working really hard to get it out. So. Just hold on with us. So now I need to make sure I have a cast shadow from all this stuff under here. So just darken it up a little bit wherever the net is. Block some of the light. I need a let's see. I think that's better. Feels better to me. So that's most of the boat. I don't know if I even had the boat circled, but I worked on the boat anyway. And now the rest of the stuff is just character stuff, mostly. Just like refinements. This guy's arrow needs to actually work. Because he's like holding it, but not holding it right. Then I'm going to add some arrows like already stuck into the Spino. Maybe a couple. Maybe in his side or like on his arm or something. Some arrows. We got this guy to finish out a little bit more. He has a spear that I need to design and move. And then there's tattoos. This guy has tattoo on his arm that I like the flow. It's honestly, it's just like scribbles. I don't know what I was going for, but I need to figure out what that actually is. So lots of character stuff, but I'm not going to deal with this on stream. We're going to call it good here for stream stuff. And then, like I said, I'm going to double up on Tropio streams moving forward. That way we can get Tropio done faster. I won't have a stream next week because I'm going to I have a business trip I'm going on. So I'll be gone all next week. So no Wednesday stream, but I should be back Saturday. So we should still have a Saturday stream. This Saturday we'll have a stream as well. So Saturday streams won't be affected, just Wednesdays for next week. But yeah, it's a little early, but I think I'm gonna call it for now. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for all your questions. I don't have any other things to mention, so have a good week, and I'll see you on Saturday. Tropio stream on Saturday. So we're starting something new. So if you want to take a look at that, be sure to check in with me on Saturday morning. All right. See ya, everyone. Bye.